It's been 84 years.
One eternity later.
What's up, everybody? Long time no video with the ATVs, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to showcase this Honda Fourtrax 250 that I've had for quite a bit of time, and I've had the video queued up for a long time, but yeah, I wanted to introduce the switch before this. So this happened in the spring, and this was a little while ago. I've already gotten rid of this quad, and I've already fixed it a little bit more. But anyways, hope you enjoy the Honda Fourtrax 250 and the ATVs. If you like these videos, please let me know, and I'll keep getting these older ATVs and showcasing them. If you don't, you know, we'll keep with the water sports and everything like that. But this is how I initially started the channel, so I'd like to showcase this one. But anyways, let's enjoy this video and see how this quad performs. Thanks so much.
What's going on, everybody? Long time no video. I've got a 1985 Honda Fourtrax 250 here, and we're going to do a quick video of it driving around and showing the capabilities of it. As you can see, it's not so visible, but I'm on an extreme slope right now, and so is the quad. Let's straighten myself out here. So that's about flat, so you can see the angle it's on, and this goes way down the hill into the mud pit down there, which is not where we're going to go. But anyways, this is a Fourtrax 250. Is one of the very first four-wheel quads ever made, aside from like tractors and guard tractors and stuff like that. So this is a unique one because they made this in three-wheeler and four-wheeler. They called it the Big Red in three-wheel form, and they called it just the Fourtrax for four wheels, 250 cc's, and this one. So fun fact, the Big Red and this one use the exact same motor, which is pretty cool. These plastics are not original to this machine. The original had gray, and it also had a different set of front and rear plastics on it, but I changed them all out in order to make it look a little bit better. The plastics were this color, but they were really bad shape, so I decided to change them out. Anywho, so this machine required a lot of work. It also has a non-OEM carb on it. Obviously, the seat cover is different that I spilled carb clean on. And there's a lot of little things here and there. But the lights do work, and everything else pretty much works on it except the front brake. This plunger is toast, but I can get another one of these, which I plan on doing. But the rear brakes do work, hence why I'm on this hill right now, and I was able to stop right there, as you can see it. But I had a set of Kenda Bear Claw tires on here, which would have worked way better up and down the hill, but I punctured the sidewall since it was trash. The tires were old and they were dry rotted a little bit, but those don't last more than a couple years in the sun, whereas these are OEM off my Fourtrax 300 4x4, and so are the fronts. These were the OGs from back in the day, so these ones last. As you can tell, these are good years on that side. I don't even know what these are, to be honest with you. They're not very good. Oh, these are Kendas as well, but these were not very good on the four-wheel drive quad, and I doubt these are going to be good driving with traction in this one even. So we're not going to go too crazy. We're not going to go into the mud pit, but I'll drive around a little bit and show how it works and talk about it. So this is not one of the first ones I've owned of these things either, so let's go back into neutral without going down the hill. Whoop, there we go. All right, so this is not the first one of these that I've ever owned. This is probably the 20th one of these that I've owned. They're good machines, and they made these because the three-wheelers just didn't cut it for farm use and also towing. So this is a pretty steep hill, which is why you hear my brakes a lot. So let's go up here. There's a lot of ticks in this stuff too. All right. So, funny part about this is this thing's got like no traction, so I spin out up here a lot. Very steep hill. A lot of power in these things. As you can hear, I wasn't even hitting the throttle very hard. These things have absolute trash suspension. But they're not sport quads, which they did make. Oh, very tough. Very tough when you go over any jumps with them. Oh, you can see that view up there with the big hill. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, the utility quads, they made these because they were better on the farm than the trikes. As you can see on the rear, we have a hitch. The trikes had them too. I don't use it because it's still too light in the front, and the four-wheel drive quads make it a lot easier to tow stuff around the house. But anyways, they were good bikes. They were cheap to make. They were cheap to own. They ran amazing. As you can tell, this thing is almost 40 years old. And it just ran forever. I pulled this one out of the ground. It was in really bad shape. And it ran. I sprayed some starter fluid in it, changed the coils out. I actually did a lot of little work to it. I changed the coil pack out. I changed the plug. I did a lot of little work to it, and it ran. But the thing will get you anywhere, you know? These will go, they'll drive anywhere. This thing had reverse too, as I'll show you. You would normally push down on that, but it's frozen in that position, so you don't need to do that. There's our reverse. And back into gear. 5-speed semi-auto, they consider these because there's no clutch. So, these had an auto clutch, which means you click up and you hold up, and it stays in neutral. But as soon as you let it down, it's like a clutch. It's pretty cool. So the auto clutch is not unique to this quad. It's been in a lot of them throughout the years. They kind of did with the auto away with the semi-autos. It's either clutched or automatic at this point in time. But I still prefer the semi-autos to anything because I like going through the gears. Also, with the power of this quad being not so crazy powerful as the 1000 Can-Ams and whatnot you see now, we're not going through the mud today. This thing was a formidable and usable, but not necessarily the greatest one ever. But yeah, so let's tear around with it for a little bit. Quad to drive. Oh boy, it gets through everything. Remind me of the Big Red a lot. Obviously the motor's the same, the whole rear is exactly the same as the Big Red, but the front has 2 wheels instead of 1. So, but it's a testament to reliability that those 30, 40-year-old machines are still running pretty darn good with minimal work as well. Try to save them one at a time, you know. Ow. There are no shocks on these things. Like maybe 2 inches of travel, but they're not speed demons by any stretch of the imagination. These things may top out at 40, 45 miles an hour. I would do a top speed run, but it's really not that important. The main thing is just to showcase the longevity of these, how they were made, and how the differences were between this and a 3-wheeler. The 3-wheeler used the same front end, the top up here, same light and everything. This was actually a removable light where you can pick it up and go around with it and kind of spotlight everything. That was the cool part about this. And a lot of neat stuff that these were capable of. Also, you'd notice when I had the 3-wheeler, the rear end is exactly the same. I'm pretty sure the diff is even interchangeable as well on the big reds, which is really cool. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed that video. You know, give it a like and subscribe. I haven't done one in a little while, but obviously I've got some things in the works that I've been working on, and you'll see them pretty soon. Catch you in the next one, guys.